Hey friends, welcome to class. My name is Bre. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be doing a Vinyasa flow sequence connecting breath with movement, and then we'll have an option to come into an arm balance called crow pose. So if you're new to crow, you can grab a pillow, place it on the side of your mat, and I'll let you know when it's time to use it when we get to that part in the sequence. Class today will be about 30 to 40 minutes, but if you want to practice longer classes, then we got you covered. You can head over to our Patreon account. The link is below in the description, and there we offer exclusive content, handstand program, meditation series, and also all of our classes there are 60 minutes or more. If you'd like some music to go along with class, then we always have our Spotify link also in the description, and you can click that and head there. We have over 40 different playlists of music that you can use to flow along with your practice. Today, all you're going to need is your mat, that pillow if you're new to crow, and then your body and your breath, and that's it. So whenever you're ready to begin, let's start in half Shavasana. So make your way onto your back. Legs bent, soles of the feet touch down on the ground. Knees either apart or resting together. Close down the eyes. Place one hand on the belly and one on the heart. And begin to deepen your breath. And let's just take 3 deep breaths all together. With each inhale, I would like you to focus on lengthening the spine, filling the rib cage up. And on the exhale, imagine yourself just melting into the ground. So for these 3 deep breaths, deep inhale, fill up the lungs. Exhale, open mouth, let it go. 2 more. Inhale. Seal the lips. Continue with those slow, deep belly breaths. Put all of your attention on the breath. Let anything else you had in your day just fade away. Give yourself the chance to fully arrive mentally on the mat. Blink open the eyes. Hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze, maybe rock left and right. Then bring both legs off the right side of your mat for Supine Twist. Legs rest down towards the ground. Extend the left arm out to your side. Just a couple of deep breaths here. With the help of the hands, bring your knees through center and all the way over to the left. It's all right if they don't touch the ground. Extend the right arm out to your side. And again, a few deep breaths here. Gentle, easy twist just to wake up the spine. Legs come back up to center, hug them into the chest. Give yourself another little squeeze. And then start to rock forward and back on your mat a few times. And then we're going to meet in boat pose. So in boat, shins are parallel to the ground. Extend the arms out towards the feet. Pull the chest a little bit closer to the quads. And then broaden the collarbone. So find a little bit of space in the front of the chest as your shoulder blades reach back and together. Now keep your left leg where it's at. We're going to extend our right leg low to the ground for low boat, but the left leg will stay there. So lower down. Exhale, bring it back up, boat pose. Switch the legs, left leg extends out, reach it up. Right leg and left. Continue at the pace of your own breath. If you start to feel any pain in your low back, you could always set the heels down. Great job. Let's do one more round. And you're going to finish by extending the left leg forward, back up to boat. Now extend both legs down, low boat. So you really have to engage the muscles in the legs, point the toes, and then start to flutter kick the legs. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job. Back up to boat. Hold here. We always want to wake up the core, especially in arm balances. We use our core so much. So we got to make sure it's there. Cross the ankles, tabletop. Nice job. Tuck the toes under, sit back towards the heels, stretch out the feet. And then come back forward, shoulders over wrists. And then we're going to lift the wrists up, come onto that first set of knuckles, and then lift up, come onto the fingertips. Lower down, lower, lift, lift, lower, lower, lift, lift, lower, lower. Continue on your own. Waking up the muscles in the hands, the wrists. Great job. 3, 2, last one. Awesome. Stay on the palms of your hands, but then rotate the hands out so that the fingertips are pointing towards the knees. And then again, sit back towards the heels. Maybe the wrists lift off. You can sway left and right, or maybe bend one elbow and then the other. And again, sit back towards the heels. Reach your arms straight up over your head. Try to stay on your toes if you can. If you can't, then come onto the tops of the feet. That's fine. Now keep the arms reaching up over the head. The arms are straight. And then you're going to extend the fingers all the way out. And then you're going to make a really tight fist. Extend, fist, extend, fist. So keep that going. And then you're moving basically as fast as you can. Keep the arms straight. You should start to feel your forearms build a little bit of heat. So we're warming up our extensor muscles in our forearms, which are used for arm balances. So keep it going. Great job. If you don't feel it, straighten the arms even more and extend and make the fist even more. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Shake out the wrists. That gets easier over time. Don't worry. If you were dying there, we were too when we first started doing that. It's all good. Lift the knees. Forward fold, back of the mat. Let the head hang heavy. Gently sway left and right. Soft bend in the knees, roll all the way up to standing. Arms reach, up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, walk your hands to the top of the mat, plank pose. So shoulders are over the wrists. Your hips are almost the same height as your shoulders. And the heels are directly over the balls of the feet. Great job. Keep pushing the ground away. Shift forward, come up high on the toes, and then set the knees down. Start to bend the arms for chaturanga. So we have a whole tutorial on chaturanga pose, but what's most important is that you don't let the shoulders come lower than the elbows. So your arms are 90 degrees. Push it back, hips to the heels. Send it forward. Keep the knees down the whole time, chaturanga. Press it back. So chaturanga is the foundational pose that we'll use in crow. Let's do 2 more. So it's good that we're discovering what that chaturanga feels like now. Great job. Last one, hips to the heels. Send it forward, and then lower all the way down to the belly. Untuck the toes, inhale, chest lifts for baby cobra. Maybe the hands lift off. Engage the muscles in the back, the glutes. And exhale, lower down. Press hips back to heels, child's pose. And inhale, lift the hips, downward dog. Play around here, maybe bend one knee and bend the other. And just begin to explore this movement in the legs, the hips, the hamstrings. Press onto the inside part of the hands, so the base of the index finger, to take the weight off the outside cartilage of the wrist. Find some stillness in your downward dog. And then inhale, right leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. Bend the right knee, open, stack the hips. Left heel lifts off. Exhale, right knee to left tricep. You're going to hold it here. So a little bit of a twist. We're really working on our core too. Great job. Last 2. Last one. Inhale, 3-legged dog, open, stack. And exhale, right foot between the hands. Revolved side angle. Keep the left palm down on the ground, and the right arm is going to reach up towards the sky. That left knee is lifted, left leg is straight. And you're really reaching up with your right hand towards the ceiling. Gaze comes back down towards the ground. Gently set down the left knee, low lunge. Inhale, arms to the sky. Stay on the back toes instead of releasing the back foot. Cinch in the ribs, and really extend and reach the arms up towards the sky. Since your toes are already tucked under, you're going to lift the left knee up, just 1 inch or so. Make your way into crescent pose. Palms together, hands at the heart. We're going to take a twist over to the right. So you could either hook your left tricep outside your right thigh, start to straighten your left leg, or if this is already too deep of a twist, you can just straighten the arms and hook the left forearm. So you have some options. Either way, we're in this crescent twist. And if you did take the hook with the elbow, then try to keep the hands at the center of the heart. And then release the twist. Spiral over, spider lunge to the left. Left leg is bent, right leg is straight. Right toes point up towards the sky, windshield wiper the right foot. Move towards the front of the mat, runner's lunge. Step the right foot back to meet the left, high plank. Now really start to press the ground away, so you have that dome in the upper back. And now keep the legs straight, and you're going to start to lift the hips up towards the sky as you walk the toes towards the wrists. So take baby steps here. Start to walk the feet forward. Keep the legs straight. You really have to push the ground away. Get as close as you can, and then send the feet all the way back to plank. One more time. Walk it forward. Really push the ground away. So what we're working on here is that protraction of the shoulder blades. Walk the feet back, which we will also need for crow pose. Great job. Plank is where we meet. Shift forward, come up high on the toes. Option to set the knees down. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Tops of the feet, push the ground away. And exhale, lift the hips, downward dog. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, and walk to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way to standing. Arms reach up overhead. Then you're going to grab onto your left wrist with your right hand. Heel toe the feet together. Take an inhale to lengthen, and exhale, side bend over to the right. Keep a lift in the left shoulder so you're not collapsing the left shoulder down. And this is also a little bit of a wrist release for the left wrist in this case. Last breath. Inhale back up to standing, switch the wrists. Another inhale to lengthen, and exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale back up to standing. And exhale, forward fold. Soft bend in the knees. Inhale to halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Sweep the hands for chair pose. And take a moment to reconnect with your breath. Beautiful, straighten the legs, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And as we exhale, you can bend the knees. I'll guide you through crow pose if you would like to take crow pose. If not, you could also just step the feet back and you can come into child's pose or downward dog, any other pose you'd like to take. So crow is completely optional. So if this is one of your first times coming into it, I recommend grabbing the pillow, placing it at the top of your mat. And then you'll place your hands down just like you do in chaturanga or plank. Spread the fingers, not as wide as they can go, but just a little bit less. Start to lift the hips up, and then you're going to bend the arms just like you do in chaturanga. And then you begin to place your knees at the base of your tricep. Instead of placing it at the very top of your armpit, you don't want to do that. You want to place it right here at the base of your tricep. Because when you do that, then you have a lot more stability to come into even more advanced poses from there. So you really want to bend the leg as much as you can. Bring the heel close to the glute, because then it creates a flat plate on your knee for your arm. So it's really important to bend the legs. So give it a try. Chaturanga arms. Maybe if you have one leg lifted, then you can lift the other. Just give it a try. Your fingers are your brakes. So that's what's holding you from falling forward. Beautiful job. Gently come back down. Step the feet back. And let's just make it straight into downward dog. Great job. If you tried it or if you didn't, great job listening to your body. That's perfect. It's exactly why we practice yoga, is to tune in with ourselves and give it what we need. Inhale, left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Open, stack the hips, bend the left leg, point the left toes. Right heel lifts off, exhale, left knee to right tricep. Hold it here. Really push the ground away, dome that upper back, and hug the thigh into the chest. Last breath. Inhale, three-legged dog, open, stack. And exhale, step the left foot between the hands, revolved side angle. Right palm stays down on the mat. Left arm reaches up to the sky. The right leg is straight. You're really sending all the energy out the left fingertips, and also through the crown of your head. Beautiful gaze comes back down towards the ground. Gently set down the right knee. Inhale to low lunge. Keep the right toes tucked under. You know why. Before we even think about what's coming next, let's just really focus about where we're at right now. So gently send the hips forward. Tuck the tailbone under. Reach out through the fingertips. Soften the breath. Inhale, we meet in crescent pose. Right knee slowly floats up. Palms together, hands at the heart. And take that twist over to the left. Again, option to hook the tricep or the forearms. Your choice, your practice. Right leg is straight, fully engaged. And again, the hands are at the heart. So if you have your hands together, but your hands are way up here, even past your left shoulder, then that's probably a sign that you should just hook the forearm instead. Release the twist, spider lunge to the right. Right leg is bent, left leg is straight. Move to the front of the mat, frame the left foot, runner's lunge. High plank, step the left foot back to meet the right. Now, option here to keep the palms flat on the ground, keep the arms straight. Or you can come onto your fingertips. And then again, just like we did before, we're going to walk the feet forward and back, work on that protraction between the shoulder blades by pushing the ground away. So whenever you're ready, start to walk the feet forward towards the hands. Keep the heels lifted so you're only on the balls of your feet. And then walk the feet back. High plank. One more time. Great job. Back to high plank. Option to stay on the fingertips or come down onto the palms. Shift forward, high on the toes. Bend the arms, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, give it a try. And exhale, downward dog. Really working on building the strength in the muscles of the hands. We'll be here in downward dog for just a couple of breaths. So if your mind was starting to wander into the future or past, then just let it go. Arrive back here with me in this moment. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees. Walk to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way to standing, strong legs. Once you're there, reach your arms up over your head, heel toe the feet hip distance apart, and then bend the arms, just hold on to opposite elbows. And then begin to make some circles with the upper body. There's no real right or wrong way to do this. So let's take 3 more breaths here. Beautiful, back up to standing. Extend and reach the arms up over the head, palms touch, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale to lift, and exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms, chair pose. Sit the hips low. So I say sit the hips low, but whenever we would teach public classes at the studio, still people are up here. So really, sit low. You can do it. Your quads are almost parallel to the ground. Nice job. 2 more breaths. Forward fold. Inhale halfway to lift. And exhale, place the hands. Second time we come into this optional crow pose. So again, you have just about 30 seconds to play around. So come into it, use that pillow above your head if you need to. And then if you are coming into crow pose and you feel really stable, then instead of stepping the feet back to high plank, as we are all going to meet in downward dog in just about 5 breaths. But if you want to float out of crow into chaturanga, then I'll cue you through that. If this is not where you're at, not something you want to do, then feel free to skip it. We'll see you in downward dog. So you've already got crow locked in. You're good to go. And then we're just the arms are already basically in chaturanga, so all we need to do is get the feet back. To do that, as you exhale, start to send the weight forward, and then extend the legs out. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. All of this is optional, of course. Just do what feels good for you. We all meet back in downward dog. Inhale, right leg lifts to the sky, 3-legged dog. Bend the right leg, open stack the hips. Left heel lifts off, exhale, right knee to nose. Place the foot between the hands, rise up for crescent. That right leg is almost 90 degrees. Palms together, hands at the heart. Twist over to the right. Hook the left tricep or the forearms. Left leg is straight. Now keep the hook with the arms. Gaze comes back down towards the ground, and slowly step your left foot forward to meet the right for chair twist. Beautiful job. You could either stay here in chair twist or option to come into side crow, arm balance. To do that, lift the heels, lower the hips down. The hands come down next to you on the mat. So now the fingertips are pointing off the right side of your mat. Again, spread your fingers wide, just like we do for chaturanga or plank, but now we're off to the right. Start to shift the weight into the fingertips. Maybe the feet float off. Your fingertips are your brakes. That's the only thing preventing you from falling too far forward. So you still have the engagement of the core, the lift in the right shoulder, left shoulder. Last breath. Gently set the feet down. If you were floating, we all meet back in chair twist. Inhale to chair. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Heel toe the feet hip distance apart. Interlace the hands behind the back, send them up over your head. For a wrist release, shoulder release, and just an option to slow down the breath. Release the hands down towards the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, place the hands however you want to get there. We will all meet in downward dog. So option to take that vinyasa, or you can skip it. Maybe take child's pose. We meet in downward dog. Inhale, left leg to the sky, open stack the hips, bend the left leg. Right heel lifts off, exhale, left knee to nose. Place the left foot between the hands, rise up for crescent. If you need a little bit more stability, you can always heel toe that left foot out an inch or two. Just widen the surface area. Palms together, hands at the heart. Twist over to the left. Start to straighten the right leg. And then gaze comes back down towards the ground as you make your way into a chair twist. Move slowly here. Now again, option to stay. This is great. This is already enough. Or if you want to fly, try out that side crow on this side. You can as well. Lift the heels, set the hips down. Fingertips come down facing away from you off the left side of the mat. Start to shift the weight forward onto your right tricep. It's okay if your hip is also touching your left elbow. Really push the ground away. Last breath. And then set the feet back down. We meet back in that chair twist. And if you were staying there, good job. Sometimes that's even harder. You did great. Inhale back to chair. And exhale, forward fold, straighten the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Again, inhale, halfway lift. Heel toe the feet, hip distance apart. And as you forward fold, interlace the hands behind the back. Option to bend one knee, bend the other. Release the hands down towards the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, place the hands. We'll all meet in downward dog. Again, if you want to try crow pose one more time, you're welcome to. It's really your practice. It's your opportunity to explore movements in your own body. And the poses are all just secondary. So as long as you're focusing on the breath, stepping into the present moment, you're doing yoga. We all meet back in a downward dog. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, walk the feet forward, and then come onto a seat. Your hands come behind you, fingertips point towards the heels for reverse tabletop. Inhale, lift the hips, stretching out the front side of the shoulders. Shift the hips forward, Slowly lower them down. And then just stay here as you are. Maybe this is already enough of a stretch on the shoulders for you. Or if you'd like to slowly increase that, you can inhale to lift the chest. And exhale, bend the elbows just slightly. As you inhale and exhale, you let the breath sort of pull you into the stretch. So you're not forcing anything. It's nice and easy. Walk the hands forward. Hold on to the hamstrings, lower onto your back. And then pull the legs up. And you're going to cross the right leg on top of the left. And then hold on to opposite shins with the hands. So it's sort of like full cow face pose, but we're on our back. So now flex both feet. So instead of pointing the feet, you want to flex to protect the knees. And then just gently start to pull the legs towards the ground. Now if you're here and maybe you want to increase it even more, you can also hold on to the outsides of the feet if it's accessible for you. Let's just take a few deep breaths here. Release the legs. And then just switch over to the other side. So cross the left leg on top of the right. And again, hold on to either the shins or the knife edge of both feet. And we're coming towards the end of our practice, the cool down. So maybe even close the eyes. Consciously slow down the breath. Release the legs. And take happy baby. So you could either hold on to the backs of the hamstrings, or again, you can reach up, hold on to the knife edge of your feet. Maybe rock left and right, massage out the spine. Release the feet, hug the knees into the chest, give yourself a big squeeze. Be so proud of all the work you just did. Maybe you tried something new today. That's great. Keep it up. Keep exploring that movement in your body. The poses, the transitions, that all gets easier the more you step on your mat. Release the feet, release the legs, come into Shavasana. Palms face up towards the sky. And again, let's slip into Shavasana the same way that we started our class. So let's do those 3 big, deep belly breaths. Each time you exhale, just imagine your muscles are melting off your bones. So you're really surrendering, you're letting go of any tension that you're still holding in your body. So let's do it all together. Deep inhale, fill up the lungs. Exhale, open mouth, let it go. 2 more. seal the lips. Continue with those slow, deep breaths. Maybe after all those twists, you can even breathe a little bit deeper. You've massaged your organs. You've moved your body in all sorts of directions. And now you feel that each breath is a little bit deeper than it was when you first stepped on your mat. So continue with those slow, deep breaths. Stay here in Shavasana as long as you'd like. But I'll be ending the video here. If you enjoyed this practice, if you enjoyed this class, please subscribe and come back for more. I'll see you again on the mat. With love and gratitude. Namaste.